Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is Reginal Drummer, and welcome to another episode of We Are Ready. Acronym WAR. Uh, Believe it or not, no matter we are or who you are, we are in a position or a state of war. We're fighting something. You're fighting something at all times. So over here, we're always focusing on uh, looking at things that we can do to put ourselves and keep ourselves in a position so that we're not at the mercy of whatever or whoever shows up. Whether it's preparing ourselves for pandemics, or pandemoniums, we can put ourselves and keep ourselves and our families in a better position. I want to encourage everyone, especially if you're joining us over on Facebook or Instagram, to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button over here on our YouTube channel, Square Mile Media Atlanta. We definitely want to get those subscribers up and get those notifications up. We got a lot of good content, a lot of great information over here. We always share some things that can be empowering to you, your family, and your community. Definitely for those that vote, don't forget, we only got a couple more weeks. The time gonna change next week, but be ready to vote and do your due diligence. And you know what we say over here: be ready to buy, lease, rent, or own the efforts of a politician. Buy, lease, rent, or own the efforts of a politician. Have something that you want from that politician. Have something that you, your family, and your community can benefit from that particular politician. Tonight, tonight, we'll be focusing on unplugging from the matrix. Unplugging, I just had to do that. Uh, unplugging from the matrix, the system, or the establishment. Uh, in order to do that, we have to understand what this thing is. Uh, it's an environment or a material in which something develops and grows. So we within the system, and within that system, there are things that are created. There are things that are uh, indoctrinated into us from birth. Believe it or not, there are things that our belief systems, our ideas, many of those things are already shaped before we get here. You're already shaped before we get here. As we start to sit with ourselves and find some teachable moments in which we can free our minds. Free our minds. They say the truth will set you free. Once we free our minds, we put ourselves in a better position. We start to understand some things. We find out that some of the things we've been doing is dreaming. And when you're dreaming, it's a dream world. Some things that somebody else thought about, created, that you are pursuing. Now, in order to break that dream or that dream world, you will find some destructive truths. Those are the new truths that sometimes we say we learn to get woke. And those things can cause us to break down those old truths and unlearn some of those things that we learned in the past. That means we have to reconstruct a brand new reality. They always say something like being born again, a brand new reality. And that requires a lot of self knowledge, a lot of self knowledge. Once you start something over, you're going to start developing some doubt because you say, you know what? I'm so used to this system. I'm so used to how it operates. I don't know what I'm going to do. So you have to come up with some overcoming doubts and then start to believe in yourself again. You start to believe in yourself again. And once you start believing in yourself, uh, a lot of the things that were holding you back will put you in a particular different mindset for yourself, your family, and community. But tonight, for everybody that's joining us, I want you to come on over. But tonight, I'll be joined by a special brother, Brother Miguel. Brother Miguel is an entrepreneur, a, um, a spiritual brother, a worker, uh, enlightened brother that brings a wealth of knowledge when it comes down to opening up uh, uh, the thought patterns that we need to have in order to put ourselves into a better system. Whether it's the diet that we eat, well, let me say not say diet, the food that we eat, the people we hang around, and all those things. Brother Miguel, how are you doing this evening?
Greetings, greetings, Brother Reginald. Thank you for having me on your platform this evening.
Yes, my brother. We this was a long time coming, and a lot of people have been asking us over the last couple of months. They say, drummer, I want to figure out how to survive. I want to uh, get some things in order. We have people that say, I want to get off the grid. I
That's
want to
right.
change
I
my
hear you.
lifestyle. I want to
Mhm.
unplug. We see a lot that's happening just here in America and around the world. And the people have a lot of questions. They got a lot of questions. People starting to ask themselves, why am I doing this? And why did my people before me do this? And why are we getting the same results? And they say anytime you do something over and over and over and over and over again, and hope that you're gonna get a different outcome, that's the first sign of foolishness. But anyway, let me
Eh,
just ask you and let you share what got you motivated and some of the things that you're doing. So give give a little introduction to yourself, introducing yourself to others, and reintroducing yourself to some that already know you.
All right, my brother. Thank you for giving me the platform and thank you for having me tonight. My name is Mikael Eric Harris. Um, well, let me rephrase that. Let me put it to you to the point where we do it in our beneficiary name. Right in the beneficiary is the way I put it in the post tonight is colon Mikael hyphen or dash Eric colon Harris, comma, beneficiary. This is how we write our, or shall I say, we autograph our name so they can't go into our trust. But I just wanted to say that's my name, Mikael Eric Harris. And I was born and raised here in Detroit, where I'm at now, Detroit, Michigan. But I did some traveling in between this time. I did some traveling. I left here in '93. I left here. Oh, okay. I thought you was asking. I left here in '93 and went to Europe. I'm a professional dancer and choreographer. I was dancing with a group of mine here in Detroit, Michigan.
Mm.
Before I go to Europe, I went to Europe. I was there for a couple of years, and in my time of being in Europe, I got with the group called Imperial, and we sold $250,000 by first single. Put out 3 singles, 3 videos before we put out our first album and I helped that group get to where I take a group in 5 years' time in 1 year by my dancing talent and performing. After that 1 year of June of '94 to June of '95, I went through my spiritual awakening. After going through my spiritual awakening, I've seen things, felt things, and heard things the average man don't see, feel, and hear. Uh, just to make things clear, I was anointed 3 times when I was over there before coming back to the States. I was guided back to Mississippi, where I was there for 8 to 10 years and learned the Bible from Genesis to Revelations. And from there, after learning and going through, I went through in Mississippi, I was guided to Atlanta. And I was in Atlanta, Georgia for 10, I would say 10 and a half years. And in Atlanta, Georgia is where I came across a friend and me and him was into a lot of information, as well as this is where I started learning how to do alkaline water and also alkaline water. And I started my business up doing alkaline water and alkaline teas, as well as I started coming into the information of being sovereign, should I say. Was coming into that information, started a sovereign class while I was there from November 1st, from the 1st of November 2009 to June of 2010. We grew over 200 people coming to our class. And me and this guy named Calvin Wakel L. Bay at that time was doing that. And from that point on, carried on and was in Atlanta until coming back home. And then there was things told to me before coming back home, spiritually, um, saying that my girls here needed me. I had 2 girls here, my 2 oldest, that should I say. And it said that the woman that you're gonna meet her in Detroit, and she's going to be with you. That
Wow.
all happened. And there's more that was told to me that's actually happening right now that I don't speak on. because this is a part of it. And so just saying that that's kind of like a quick introduction of my life path. And there's a lot that's happened in between, but I just gave a little introduction to what has happened in between that time. And while I was here, I got indexes, which most of this information may be about tonight. I got indexed, and that includes a lot of information when it comes to biblical, or shall I say spiritual, which is biblical, as well as the freeing and prophecy, key prophecy of today.
Wow. Wow. You know, because I know we got a lot of questions. We got some people coming forward in the chat. You know, uh, I had, and over the years, and even recently, I've had people that say, "Man, drummer, how do we?" I heard people say they can, you know, unplug from this system. You know, they say you gotta. Some people go off the grid. A lot of people don't have the same anxieties and problems that others have because they've done certain things to put themselves and their families in a better and safer position.
That's right.
Uh, you know, without just, you know, because I know you got classes and things like that, but what you know, because some people say, man, you know, I'm so far in this thing, drum. I got a social security check I get. I'm on Medicaid and Medicare. I got a job. I'm in
Mhm.
school. You know, people think it's very difficult to kind of unyoke or unplug. Because when you say I'm unplugging, that means you got some form of detachment from this current system that we operate in.
Yeah. Want me to share on that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, the best point that I can share on that point of unplugging, as I know, there's many ways that many people do it as far as what's been told. But as far as I know, and I will give examples to that as well. But the closest and I'm gonna give you first, I'm gonna give you the unplugging point, and then I'm gonna give you what's happening in the system as actually being freed as well, in a sense.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna talk about right now is indexing, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, the best way I can say indexing is identifying yourself in the new system. I like to say the creator system that's building in the earth at this point in time. And what I mean by the creator system, it all is a part of prophecy. I've been sharing information. And if anybody like to know some of the information they'd like to go to share, I haven't put it in. I haven't given to Brother Drummond to put in the chat yet. But my Facebook is Eric Harris on Facebook. That's EricHarris, and they're gonna deter you from that because they're deterring people and trying to make it seem like it's a bad site to go to. But once you push the gray line twice, it's gonna come up. You're gonna see Eric Harris. You'll see me and my wife standing there. I have a blue shirt on, and she has like a speckled black and white hat on. That's Eric Harris. That's me, and I'm sharing a lot of information on my event page. I'm doing every other Monday. It's called Mikael's Knowledge of Truth, but you can also put in the search engine indexing classes in Detroit. You can
Mm.
also put in there indexing classes in Mississippi. Mississippi, we did one time, and we did 2 indexing classes in Atlanta. So you can put that in the search engine in the event page on Facebook. And also, I'm doing Zoom classes now. I picked up where our brother Charles. I just want to
Yes,
get this
sir.
information real quick. I'm doing Zoom class. I picked up where we were doing Ajax Freedom Call, Freedom Zoom. We was doing that. Then something happened where Ajax and another brother, Stencil, left off. So I picked it up, and I'm trying to keep it going on every Wednesday. Starting this Wednesday at 9 o'clock. I'm doing it at 7 for the last 2, but this Wednesday I'll be starting at 9 o'clock. So I'll give you that information to the Zoom, and also to Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. And you can also, like I said, go into the search engine and put in indexing classes in Detroit, Atlanta, or Mississippi. Now, just to share with you a little bit about indexing. Indexing, I give you a brief information on that. Like I was saying, indexing takes you, as far as I'm concerned, of what I know, and I'm gonna give you some examples in a few moments. Indexing takes you out of the system. This what it does. It actually is putting you, is identifying you in a new system that's growing. Right now, we have two systems paralleling. We have
Mm.
two systems paralleling, right? The satanic, I like to call it the satanic system, which is this government we're in now, is falling as the creator system is rising in the earth at this point in time right now. This is what's happening. A lot of people are not aware of it, but a lot of people can feel it. A lot of people can see it. A lot of people can see a lot of things happening, but they don't know what's going on unless they're in the know, if you understand what I'm saying. So by being in the know, it's understanding what's going on behind the scenes. When people do your research, as you were just saying in the beginning, as people start to research and search for truth, knowledge, and information, it's been the saying said, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Mm.
That's happening. That's happening now. That's happening now, and it's happening all across the earth. It's a spiritual awakening happening. It's been going on for years, but it's happening more in this prevalent day because we're coming out. With matter of fact, we're out of the 400-year curse, and I'll get back to that later. Right now, and make hopefully you remind me of that. I want to make sure that that is a part of where we are today, the 400-year curse that we are out of now. But the index, what happened in 96, I'm sorry, 2015, a friend of mine named Edwin, I was in Atlanta and he called me. He was one of the ones who used to come to my classes in 2009,
Okay.
2009 to 2010. And he ended up calling me, telling me about this guy named Dr. Henderson. And what he did, he said he got stopped by the cops, police policy officers. I'll say it like that because that's what they are. He got stopped by the policy officers and they pulled him over. They looked at his ticket and told him to have the branded, came back and told him to have a nice day. He called me, told me
Mm.
about it. He told me about it several times. You know, this was in 2015. Not in two, I was in Atlanta at the time visiting and picking up products, because that's where I get my teas from. I was picking the
Okay.
product and everything from there then, and I came back home. Now I'm back in Detroit. And it's this sister, she passed on, her name was Queen Mother. She had just told me, I ended up seeing her in passing. She said, I just come from getting index. I said, what? I said, yeah, indexing, yeah. And then she was telling me about, I said, man, it's the same thing my brother Edwin was telling me about. So now, when the teacher is ready, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Okay.
This is the spirit giving me confirmation on indexing. Everything came like clockwork. My plane ticket came. I looked more into it. I got more information. I made the ticket to go to Dallas, Texas at that time. Went out there, made a lot of friends, got indexed, met Dr. Henderson, Shelley Bowling, and we had a good time together.
Mm.
After that, came back home. After coming back home, there's a lot of things happened in between there, but I'm making the story short. Well, a few things happened between there, not a lot. And so I came back home. So it was like when I was doing the classes, should I say, when I was presenting the classes that Calvin Wakil El Bay was teaching in 2009, I couldn't grab it. You know, I was there, I was picking it up, but I couldn't grab it as I needed to. But
Right.
after
Right.
I got indexed, it was like, I would say it was like an anointing, because it was like it was all pouring down. All the stuff that I remember from back then, I understood it. And when I got home, when I made it back home, I had shared it with a few people at the airport there as well. But when I got back home, I made a post on Facebook called "You Are a Product," and it was made in 2016. And the product is that everyone is like, let's just say, a book on the shelf. This is my Bible, but let's just say this right here is a product, right?
Okay.
On the shelf. Everyone that has a birth certificate, social security card, and an ID card is like that's like your barcode on an item on the shelf. So
Mm.
I kind of broke it. Yeah, I was kind of breaking it down, letting everyone know that you are a product. When your birth certificate and your ID card is the name and number that it speaks of in Revelations. When it says no man will be able to buy or sell, they should get the name, the number, and then it speaks about the mark. But we're not going to get on the mark. We're just going to speak on the name and the number. because after Revelation 13, it doesn't speak about the name and number no more. It speaks about those who have received the mark. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Right, right. So indexing is for those who has been, if you remember Revelation chapter 7, it says 144,000 will be anointed of the Father. Then it
Right.
says, there'll be a number that no man can number. A lot of people
Mm.
don't recognize that.
Okay.
All everyone remember is the 144,000 of Israel. They don't remember when it says a number that no man can number. All these people was, should I say, taken aside from all those who will receive the mark and those that will go through their tribulations with the system.
Okay.
So the situation is, and this is my observance on indexing. Everyone, because like I said, I was anointed in Europe as well, so that was by the Spirit. So as I was saying, that indexing takes you out of the system according to what I've come to know, because after 2016,
Mm-hmm.
I did the UR product. It was like I forgot about it. I just kept going on with my life, because that's what we're supposed to do. If
Right.
you're working, got pensions, anything that you've been doing, you can still do. But once you get indexed, we're not supposed to vote. I'm just sharing this because this will put you back into the system.
Gotcha. Right.
If you vote, if you vote, if you become an LLC or a corporation, business wise, that is, if you become an LLC corporation, if you vote, and also it said that vote registration, if you, what's the last one, LLC corporation, if you vote, or if you make a trust, because they already have trust set up for you.
Okay.
If you make a trust, this is what was said to us. So this is as far as what I know, and this is what I can share. If you do any one of these three, that you would take yourself out of the indexing and put yourself back into the corporation. And the corporation is the Vatican, the Pope, United States of America, and the Industrial Forces of England, which was the Queen of England and those as well. All four of those are the ones who control the birth certificate and social security card across the earth. And a lot of people
Wow.
don't know that. Yeah. So when it speaks about 666 also, so I'm just putting all this in the conglomerate together real quick in that Revelation 13. When it talks about that man is the number of man is 666. That 666 is the Pope. His correct name is Victorious Philly D or Victus Philly D. But when you look it up and you break all those words down in numeral numbers, it comes up to 666. I learned this when I was in
Wow.
Mississippi. Yeah,
Okay.
I learned
Okay.
that when I was in Mississippi. So
Okay.
that's the, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just thinking, you bring a lot of interesting points because, I know people, one of the question would be, what's the advantage of indexing versus staying in the system?
There we go. I'm glad you had that question. That's what I was coming up to now.
Okay, go ahead.
That's what I was about to come to with letting it be known about the 666. Now the advantage is this. My personal example, or what they would say, example, or my, well, what I've been through. I've been stopped by the police from 2018. Nah,
Okay.
it wasn't, like I said, I forgot about it when after I got indexed, I just went on with my life. 2018, my wife came and picked me up from work about 2 something in the morning. I was
Okay.
traveling back home. Words are very important as well that we need to
Okay.
recognize. We was traveling back home, and as I was traveling, I got stopped by a young officer. Now we had the front light was out. The front light was out, and I may have been going maybe 5 or 10, no more than 5 or 10 over the speed limit. We got
Okay.
stopped, and so he came up. came to the car. She's sitting on the passenger side. I always greet everyone with a good just, hey, officer, how you doing? You doing good today? I always greet them like that, right?
Okay.
So he said, yeah, all right. You said, I don't know. He said he stopped me because my front light was out. I don't think he said speeding, but I think he said for the front light was out, or maybe he could have said speeding as well. But he went back, went back, ran my ID, came back and told me, have a nice day. Now at
Okay.
this time, yeah, at this time, I didn't know that there was no insurance on the car. So that would have been three. Well, if it would have been, it would have been. I know it was supposed to be speed, maybe the front headlight as well as no insurance. She had
Right.
already thought in mind because I didn't know she didn't have insurance. But that was the first day. About maybe 3 to 4 days to a week later, we got stopped on the east side of Detroit. We was coming out of Grosse Pointe coming back in Detroit, and I got stopped there. And we had the fender, the fender or what you call that? The bumper. The bumper had got snatched off between that time. The bumper got snatched off. So we come in. The officer stopped me and said, "Did you know your?" He said you were speeding a little bit, maybe going about 5. Like I said, I don't go no more than 10 miles per hour, but he said you were speeding a little bit. Did you know your bumper was off the front of your car? I said, yeah. I said we ordered it and it'll be coming soon. He said, okay, well, I'll be right back. So he ran my ID. Less than 3 minutes, come back. Thank you, sir. Have a nice day and get some insurance. I said, okay, all right. Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Gave my ID.
Oh, brother, I gotta ask you. I gotta ask you a question.
I'm
This
listening.
going all in the chat. It say, you mean to tell me that a black man can ride around, because we don't have a good track record with the policy officers, police. I mean, a lot of us don't. I've been stopped, but they never told me have a nice day. But I've been stopped, but it ended up wasn't I got a ticket for speeding or something like that. But some brothers don't have favorable returns when you did it twice, and I know you got a couple other stories in there.
Oh,
but you mean to tell me that made a difference?
Well, I'm ready to share with you. That's just 2. I ain't told you how many times. I don't know if I told you how many times I got stopped. Did I tell you how many times I got stopped yet?
No. Continue, please.
Okay. That was just the second one. Now, what happened was after he told me have a nice day, he went back, and you know what my wife told me?
What?
She said, why you ain't getting no ticket? I said, what, you want me to get a ticket? No. Huh? I just want to know why you ain't getting no ticket. And she said, if it was me, I got a ticket. I said, because I'm the son of the father. She said, well, I'm a daughter of the father, but I'm still would have got a ticket.
Wow. Okay.
So after that, I told her, well, I'll tell you what it is, what was going on with it, right?
Okay.
So I just let her, it's right after that when I started explaining to her about indexing, and that indexing takes us out of the system. Indexing takes us out of the system, and by taking us out of the system, we're not supposed to be detained. And matter of fact, let me read it for you a little bit. I'm gonna give you a little bit of information. I'm glad I had this right here because I didn't know if I was gonna go over this or not.
Okay.
So here we go. Yeah, I definitely want to read this to you. I actually got a tape that Shelley Boney really gives you the breakdown of. See, this is the information. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Okay. I see it a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna read a little bit. Okay, there you go. I can see it a little bit better myself. This right here, now this is just a black and white form. This right here is judicial notice of foreign judgment, foreign registration, and index. Right?
Right.
And this is from the Universal World Court. Just so you can see.
Wow.
Okay. It's from the Universal World Court, right? And just to share, I'm just giving you the information. What anyone needs to do if you want to know more information, go to sovcpr.com. That's SOV as in sovereign, so SOV solve, SOVCPR.com or .org. If you go there, all the information you need to know is there. They take care of you from that point. I used to have classes and things like that, no different than what I'm doing now. Mainly what me and my wife used to do, we used to share the information about our experiences, like I'm sharing with you right now. And we used to do the POA form, I mean the power of attorney form, which is you have to have a form of power of attorney where you give them power of attorney so they can put you into the new system by
Mm-hmm.
index. So we just give you the information to be processed or get started with the process. You send it in. Once you send the information in, they'll take it from there. But all the information is in and on the post. All you got to do is go to sobcpr.com. And then once you do that, go to the post, go to indexing. When you go in, go to indexing.com or .org, go to indexing, and read the information, and everything else should be self-explanatory from that point. And by doing that, this is putting you into the new system. Now, I will have to say this: there's a charge now, but in the what? Well, since I've been indexed, and up until I'm just gonna say up until this year, August 23rd, they have been doing it for free for the longest.
Wow.
Now it's supposed to be a charge. So I'm not gonna go no further than that, but let you go to the post, check that information out, and go from there. Other than that, this is what I know and what has happened with me and people that I know. It's so many different. Matter of fact, what I like for you to do is so many different testimonies. If you go to and Brother Charles, Brother Charles hooked us up, right?
He might be in the chat. I don't see him yet.
Okay, well, he'll probably be there. But the point is, now, Brother Charles, he tested them. I came to Atlanta, and it's called Indexing Classes in Atlanta. I did two of them there. Now, Charles, we actually interviewed him when we went back the second time. He actually tested the police twice, 2 or 3 times. And it was three different areas. What he did was he came to a certain area. The cops or the police, I'm gonna say police, I don't want to disrespect whatever. The policy officers was next to him. He scared it off on purpose. And then they flagged him, right? They flagged him, and then he told him, he said, man, he said, do you know why we stopped? Yeah, I know. I just wanted you to stop me so I can give you my ID so you can go and check my stuff. So I want you to go and check my stuff, see if my stuff is uploaded out of your system. That's what Charles said. He said, I want you to go see my stuff. He gave me and showed him his insurance and everything that he had, but he gave him his ID card and told him go check it. He went and checked it and came back and say, yes, sir, it's all right, but watch yourself or whatever. So me and my wife would tell him, Charles, slow down, don't provoke him. But we are on the do not detain this. The whole key is that we're supposed to still uphold and be upstanding citizens, because what I'm going to read to you in a few moments is going to share with you the information. But before I go there, that was just the second time I just shared with you with me and my wife. The third time is what got me. Now, third time, which was maybe a week, not even, probably about a week or a couple of days later. I was at a certain point. Matter of fact, I was at Davidson in Illinois, and I made a left. And I didn't see an officer, but the light was turning yellow as it turned red.
Mm-hmm.
I made the left, and as I was going, I switched lanes. So the cop, another young cop, pulled me over, ran my ID, came back, said, "Have a nice day." Right then, I said, "Oh yeah, it has to be the end." That got me. The second time was one, like it got her. The third time, I knew it's the indexing, right? But I did not take advantage of it, but I was just knowing that this is what it was. So happened to see him about 30 minutes later after I did some runs, because I do alkaline water, so I do deliveries and stuff. I seen him at a restaurant, the same cop or the same officer. He acted like he was scared of me. He was standing back to the side looking at me like this. And I was like, man, why and I didn't know, because we don't know what's in their information.
Okay. Well, brother, I got another question. I mean, you mean to tell me that, I mean, that's worth all the money in the world to have that type of power. I mean, as a black man in America, uh, to have that particular freedom where you can't be detained. Uh, I mean, wow.
Yeah,
I'm
but
flabbergasted. My mind's blown away. Go ahead.
yeah, but it's only if we're in the right, because as long as you don't
Okay.
break a
Okay.
real law, if you don't hurt, harm, not endanger, but if you don't hurt, harm, or damage someone's property,
Hmm.
then you're clear. But otherwise, the policy officers has to step in. If it's an accident or something like that, they have to step in. Or if there's this is what quote unquote the officers is supposed to be there
Okay. Okay.
for to keep order. But when someone is doing running a light is not a crime. All the things that they're doing out here in these police officers is stopping and giving tickets for are not crimes.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? But see, they have done this is the reason why I say this is an organization. The whole system is a well run oil machine, and it's an organization against the people. Satan is the system, and I'm just letting people know that. So
Okay.
the key is when you and a lot of people may not understand this the way I'm sharing it, but I have to give it to you the best way I can.
Okay.
When you look at if you look in Daniel, the book of Daniel, when it speaks in Daniel chapter 2, Daniel chapter 7, and Daniel chapter 8, when it speaks about them and the beast, is talking about the system. It's 4 world powers, 4 world organizations, 4 world generations, 4 world systems. The Babylon, Medes and the Persians, the Greek and the Roman system. When the Greek and the Romans came in, they changed everything.
Mm.
And what has happened, we have been living in those times. And by living in those times, we've become adapted to their ways. So when we try to tell people to go and learn the law, which is the first 5 books of the Bible, which when the Father or the Creator or the people, as people say, God spoke, he gave us laws to live by. And
Okay.
then the prophets kept trying to come and turn us back to the law.
Mm.
And this is the problem today. So what has happened today is a part of prophecy. And there's so
Okay.
much that's happening today that the people don't understand because they have been tricked, and the ones is all still part of prophecy. Everything that's going on today is still part of prophecy. We're actually coming out of the 400 years now, as I was sharing with you earlier. But the point I'm getting at is everything is according to prophecy. We're living prophecy right now. And in Mikael's knowledge of truth and other information, I share the stuff that's going on in prophecy, showing where we are today.
Mm. Wow.
So one thing but I will tell you now that, one more thing.
Okay.
I was stopped. I had been stopped about 17, 18 times between
Okay.
2018 and today. I just put it like that. About
Okay.
17, 18 times I've been stopped and pulled over, whatever. Now,
Hmm.
I've had about 3 or 4 that wanted to still give a ticket, but never got arrested. So I had about
Okay.
3 or 4 that may have gave a ticket, but haven't gotten arrested. Now,
What was those circumstances?
well, the first one, the first one was what they call it when they set you up, when they try to set you up for something. I forgot what they called it because I had it. I went to court, but I didn't challenge it for the I forgot the name. It's a certain name that you call it. But let me
Mm.
tell you what happened. I was coming
Okay.
home from work. They was doing some construction on Telegraph, on not too far from where I'm staying. Say what, baby? Thank you, baby. That's why I need my baby. Entrapment.
Okay. Ooh.
Entrapment.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
That's what it's called. Entrapment. See why I need you, babe? That's my
Thank
baby
you.
up
Thank
there.
you, Queen. Thank you. Yes.
So yeah, it's entrapment. So what happened was they was doing straight. It's, you know how you have an island, you have two sides of the road, one going east, one going west, or north and south.
Right.
They had it was 2 o'clock in the morning when I got off. They had the southbound blocked off because they were doing work on the road. So they wanted us to make a U-turn to go south to come back around. So, but an officer, a cop, whatever you want to call him, he made it where, you know, sometimes they have like a little roadway where you can go up the side to come around to the other side.
Right.
They had the barrels there, and they had the barrels like where you can go around like that. So I thought that that's the way it was set up early in the morning that way. So I went around. Soon as I came out and I was going my way, they flicked me. He was like sitting back there waiting, and he flicked me.
Okay.
So this is where he came. He stopped me, and you know, I said, "Hey, how you doing?" He said, "What you doing coming wrong? You came down. You went down the wrong way on a one-way street." I said, "The barrel was set up like that for me." He said, "No, the barrel was set up that you got there and moved it." I said, "No, I didn't." I said, "No, I didn't." Man, you know, we ain't argue, but I just let him know. He went back, wrote the ticket, came back. I said, "I'm not accepting that." He threw it in the car, what have you. That was the first one.
Okay.
The other one, I think I was in another part of town, but it's just look, put like this: they wasn't anything. The whole thing is about traffic, but like I say, they're not laws. So what end up happening now? The indexing doesn't handle that. It just handled the point on this situation. But see, they will threaten you if you don't come in. Now, me not knowing if I go or don't go, if they're going to try to arrest me or not. I don't know if they're going to try to do it or not. But I didn't go for about maybe a year or two later. That was 2019. I didn't start my case until earlier this year, beginning of this year.
Okay.
On that one. But see, the whole thing is in the beginning of this year, I started learning. Now, this is the other point I was going to share with you. This is what I've been teaching or sharing in Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. See, indexing classes is what I've been sharing about what I first talked to you about. Mikael's Knowledge of Truth, I've been sharing how the people, if you're not indexed, how you can fight them.
Okay.
Right? So now I'm in both hands now. Now, I prayed to the Father since indexing couldn't help me on that point because I thought we could probably write in or whatever. And even though whatever information come up in their information in the system, we got some that's defiant. You know how you got some people that's defiant, they still want to go over what you know?
Right.
So now I prayed to the Father. I prayed to the Father and said, now what should I do on this point? And after I prayed to him, he ended up guiding me to this guy named Christopher Hauser on YouTube.
Okay.
I started learning that information, put the paper together, and it's something called conditional acceptance. If you can write conditional acceptance, and you can write any corporation a conditional acceptance and lien them, not sue them. You can lien them for millions.
Wow.
Yeah. The reason being, start off with this. This right here is called the mailbox rule. If you get time, you can look it up, Google it. It's called the mailbox rule.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see everything on that.
I can see it. Yeah.
It's called the mailbox rule. And the mailbox rule is anything you send registered mail, once they get it, it's a contract. A legal binding contract.
Wow.
Yep. Like I say, I started praying. I prayed to the Father. And I don't know, how much time do you have on it? Do you have an hour or?
Yeah, we got about 15 more minutes. So you got
okay
time.
then. Okay. Well, I always like to share information. And this right here, the mailbox rule, I'm gonna read you real quick, then I'm going to the indexing and give you that.
Yes, sir. Okay.
What the mailbox rule says, reinstatement, second, 63. Time when acceptance takes effect, unless the offerer provides otherwise. That means like if you're giving them something, if you're sending something that's a contract, that's when it takes effect. Otherwise, it's just something that you're sending. And it says, and acceptance made in a manner and by a medium invited by an offerer is operative and completes the manifestation of mutual assent. As soon as put out of the offeree's possession without regard to whether it ever reaches the offerer. That means once you send it, it's done. If it's registered mail, they're supposed to get it.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So just so y'all see it again, we'll make sure y'all see that one more time. Y'all can pull it up close if you like. Also, I got it on Instagram over here too. I don't know, nobody's in there yet, or
Okay.
is. Okay. So now with the index, like I said, I was stopped about 16, 17 times. A few officers gave me tickets anyway, but I only had 2 court cases.
Okay.
Only had 2 court cases, and I've leaned the officer, the judge, the facility, the clerk, and what else? I think it's 2 officers. I got 5 on each one.
Wow.
Yeah. 7 million apiece. But the point is, I'm not suing or leaning them. You're leaning their trust. And this is something I wanted to get into to share with you real quick. Your birth certificate and social security card is a trust. By them being a trust at birth, when you was born, this is how I usually break it down. When you were born a life and flesh, a life and blood living being, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, as you're born, I like to say they put a cap on your head. I call it a cap. This right here is not a part of you. This is something they put on you, which is the birth certificate and social security card, which follows you from the womb to the tomb. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So your birth certificate is your all name in all caps, which a lot of people call the straw man. My wife called it your paper twin. It's your paper twin. It's not you. It's something that follows you and tagged on to you from the womb to the tomb. Right? So now the birth certificate is the name. That's why I say the name and the number in Revelation 13. The name, you can't buy nothing. You can't buy a house, a car, land, or anything without a birth certificate or social security card. Am I correct?
Correct. Yes.
That's the name. The number is the social security number. Without these 2, you can't really function in quote unquote society. And this is worldwide. If you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
So by this being worldwide, the birth certificate and social security card is the quote unquote straw man, which is, as my wife said, your paper twin, which follows you from the womb to the tomb. And in one of the information that I have that I've been sharing as well, it's called the W4, the W-4 sandwich process. And I'll probably send you a lot more information you can add into the feed if you like. I'm gonna send you a lot of information later. But this is one of the ones, it's called a W4 processing sandwich. Now, I've been sharing information for a while, but a lot of times, a lot of our people don't accept nothing until Caucasians say it, right?
Gotcha. Right.
Okay. So it's a Caucasian lady saying it, but she's giving information that this is how the world has been built off of our backs. This whole system has been built off our trust, putting us in the beneficiary status, fiduciary status when we're the beneficiaries. But now let me get back to the information I want to share with you on the indexing real quick. And I wanted to read this for you.
Okay, please do.
All right. Just wanted to read this little bit for you. This is in, I believe, page 5 and 6. First, right here, it says notice. I want to read this real quick. It says notice. This notice is presented to all officers, agents, and contractors to the above mentioned instrumentalities, political subdivisions, political subdivision, federal, state, and city. Please be noticed that all property herein and attached is under the custody and control of the above noted foreign official and is not subject to intrusion or seizure.
Mm.
Now it goes into warning. Warning. I, Dr. Hindu I.L. Henderson, ad hoc judge of the Universal World Court, place all trustees and liberties on notice that bearer, which we are the bearer, which is the beneficiary, we are the bearers, is not now nor has ever been subject to the absolutely bankrupt de facto jurisdiction and its so-called laws and criminal justice system. The United States Department of State and the Universal World Court have been duly notified of the notice pursuant of international law under International Convention and the World Court. This bearer shall enjoy full immunity from criminal and civil jurisdiction pursuant to your Title 18, Section 112 of the Internationally Protected Persons Act of 1976. Y'all get time, check that out. That's Title
Okay.
18, Section 112 of the Internationally Protected Persons Act of 1976. This man shall be treated with the utmost respect, and all steps shall be taken to prevent collateral attack on his personal freedoms, physical mobility, commercial interests, and all residential property. I, Dr. Hindu I.L. Henderson, sovereign principal, elect chief judge of the World Court from the tribe of Judah, the house of Israel, for the estate of bearer have been duly notified in this U.S. Department of State and the Universal World Court pursuant to international law and enjoys full immunity from all civil and criminal prosecution under the Universal World Court. Bearers should be treated with the utmost respect, and all steps should be taken to prevent attack on bearers' freedom, mobility, interest, and property. You are hereby directed to immediately cease and desist any and all efforts to tax, extort, detain, search, arrest, prosecute, jail, collect from, disclose on, evict, etc., intended to raid this beneficiary's account. All statutory judgments are null and void regarding bearer and his estate and all derivatives thereof ab initio non protunct.
Wow.
This is
Whoa.
part law, exactly. This is what we're under. This is what I believe come up in their system.
Hmm. Well,
Because
and I know we got to get you back, brother. But that makes you look at a lot of these people. I know they say the president. They say he going to jail. But a lot of these folk, they not under the same rules and obligations and situations that we are in. We
right,
might look at it and say, man, they're gonna lock them up. They're gonna put them under the jail. Like you say, as long as they don't do nothing that's like bodily harm, kill somebody, and even then they get a pass sometimes.
it's a lot of them locked up now. It's a lot of
Mm,
undercover. The stuff that was good. A lot of stuff Trump was doing when he said gonna make America great again behind the
uh,
scenes. I don't know if y'all have y'all ever heard of Pizzagate?
yeah, I heard Pizzagate.
Okay, all that stuff that was going on, a lot of them is gotten locked up. A lot of things has happened behind the scenes. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not gonna give too much, but a lot of things is going on. People have gone off the scene that people haven't heard from much lately. A
Right,
few
right.
other
Ooh.
people. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people ain't paying attention because they're busy working and doing what they're doing. But a lot of stuff is behind the scenes. A lot of people don't know about it. One reason because people ain't gonna be able to take it because they've been so indoctrinated with the way the system has already been.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So now
right.
that the change is happening, the spiritual awakening is happening all across the earth. A lot of people can't accept it. A lot of people are taking it slowly but surely. Me myself, I'm vegan now. I stopped eating. I'm just gonna give you a breakdown real quick of something real quick. which is I stopped
Okay.
eating pork. I stopped eating pork in 92. I stopped eating beef and chicken in 2002. I stopped eating turkey in 2004. I stopped eating fish in 2008. I stopped eating dairy from animals in 2012.
Wow.
So it's a breakdown for me. But the point is, if you notice, a lot of people are moving to veganism and vegetarianism. Am I correct?
Yes, yes.
It's a change happening and people can't see it. It's a spiritual change happening, but people can't see it. It's all in prophecy. Everything is so much more that I can break down when it comes to prophecy about what's happening today that a lot of people are unaware of. But when I try to bring it, now let me get you to the 400 years real quick, because it look like we
Okay.
got about 3 minutes left.
Yeah, hit me with it, brother. Hit us with it.
Okay. The 400-year prophecy, if you get time, read Genesis chapter 15, verse 12 through 14. It's a lot of information in those 3 verses. Verse 12, it talks about when the Creator told Abraham, know for a surety that thy seed shall sojourn in a land that's not theirs, and they shall be in bondage 400 years.
Mm.
And afterwards, I shall judge that nation. Now, how I break it down and let people understand is that nation is the Greek and the Roman Empire. The
Okay.
400 years we've been in, which I say the world has been under this Roman rule. I can't even say how long, but we have been in bondage 400 years from 1619 to 2019. It says, I shall judge that nation. It's not talking about the nation of America, the nation of, you can't say Africa. Africa is a continent, but you can't say certain nations or places like that, like nations inside a continent. It's talking about the nation of Rome, the Roman
Mm.
Empire. This is the world power that we're in that's falling now. The Roman Empire. The Roman Empire is falling. He said he's going to judge that nation. That judgment came right after 2019, which is the coronavirus.
Mm. Okay.
That was the judgment upon the earth, and a lot of people who don't realize that whoever's doing evil or against the law has fell off and is still falling off. People have a chance now to make a change. That's up to them. But prophecy is happening right now. Whether they want to accept the change or not is going to happen. So they have to start looking at going back to the Creator, keeping his laws, keeping his ways, and getting back to what was given to them in the beginning instead of what was handed down to them in the New Testament. And I'm not saying everything in the New Testament is wrong, but there's a lot of things that's been changed, manipulated. And if you go to Facebook or Instagram and put in the
Okay.
search engine, subliminal messages and
Ooh.
manipulations in the Bible, part 1 and part 2. I'm gonna send that to you as well.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. We definitely need
Yes,
to post
sir.
that, brother.
I
But
definitely, and I got something that you got to look at everything. I got links in there that's showing you about King Constantine, the Council of Nicaea, and the Crusaders, how they went around the world making everybody accept the quote unquote religion Christianity. They made people accept that, and also it's another one in there talking about the Jesuits. They
okay.
had a part in everything up until today of what's going on.
Wow. Well. Tell them how to get in touch with you. I know you got some Facebook pages. I know you got
Yes,
some
sir.
regular, ongoing seminars and workshops going on. So feel free to verbally put that out.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll start off. I'll start off first. My number, anybody's welcome to contact me. My number is 7. You can call or text at 770-572-5315. That's my direct number to my hip. 770-572-5315. My email is lkhyym.com. At gmail.com. Or you can go to juice_productions at yahoo.com. Email number. My website for my business on my I do alkaline water and alkaline teas. That website is That website is lkhyym.com. And
Okay.
you can also go to Instagram and TikTok at lkhyym underscore the juice. That's Instagram and TikTok. Let me see, I'm trying not to miss anything. My YouTube, my actual YouTube, the one that I'm mostly on is Michael the Juice Harris. Michael space THE space JUICE space HARRIS. And I also have another YouTube, which is Juice Pro 33, JUICE PRO 33. Let me see. Now, my Facebook is Eric Harris, as I shared earlier. Facebook is Eric Harris, ERICHARRIS. And if you go in, they're going to try to block you or deter you from it because I've been putting out a lot of information. They're going to say this is not a good site to go in. Just hit the gray bar, hit the gray bar again, and you'll see me in a blue shirt, and you'll see my wife in a multicolored, speckle colored black and white hat. Eric Harris, that'll be me and her. If you want to friend me on Facebook. If you want to go to the event page to see some of my information that I've been sharing, you can put in the search engine or go to the event page at first, or where I'm at now, and every other Monday is Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. MI'CHAEL''S Knowledge of Truth. And also you can go to indexing classes in Detroit. Me and my wife are doing that about 2.5 years, if not 2 years, 2 to 2.5 years. We were sharing about indexing. That's indexing classes in Detroit. We got 2 indexing classes in Atlanta, and we got 1 indexing classes in Mississippi. Let's say, I'm trying to remember anything else that I may be forgetting. Oh, WhatsApp. We got a we got a WhatsApp group with me and Brother Charles and some other brothers and a community buzz. We have a WhatsApp group. It's called Freedom NGO Group. Freedom NGO means non-governmental organization group on WhatsApp. And also I'm doing Freedom NGO Group on Zoom every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. That's every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. And that's mainly it that I can think of.
Well, definitely thank you, Brother Miguel, for everybody that joined us, everybody that'll be playing this back. Continue to like, share, subscribe over here, Square Mile Media Atlanta. Also, don't forget, we are in a war. We are in a battle. Whether you think it or just going to put your head in the sand, people are trying to do something about their situation. Many times you say, well, what can I do to avoid some of these hardships that's here already, that's long been here, and how can I get out of this particular system, this matrix, this new world order, this establishment, with the least amount of exertion? You know, some people don't even leave until they die. But if you can find a way to get your family, we got people that are making sure that they not their future generation, they not getting birth certificate. They birthing babies from the house. They homeschooling their kids. They working for themselves. They don't vote. They don't use money. They stay away from hospitals. They're growing their own food, and they pretty much living off the grid. Now, most of us, the rest of us that's been on here for a little while, it might be a little difficult. So indexing might be the way to go. So with that being said,
don't
yes,
forget
sir.
SOVCPR.com, SOVCPR.org. Either one of those to go there to find out more about indexing and get you. My main thing is protect yourself, and this is the protection, far as I'm concerned. And then maybe we can come back and I can tell you more information on what I've done, as in the courts. Because I actually told the judge, if you keep proceeding with these situations, I'm gonna have you arrested. I actually told her that, and I recorded it.
Wow. Whoa. Okay. You know we got to bring you back there for brother. But definitely appreciate all the information. Information is power. It leads us to the knowledge that we need to have because we are behind enemy lines and we are at war. So the best and most powerful ways that we can equip ourselves, our families, and our communities to put ourselves in a position where we are no longer the poster children for and at the mercy of whatever happens. So this is Reginal Drummer, the peopleologist. Thanks for joining us, and my special guest, Brother Miguel. for sharing great information that helps us, helps our families, helps our communities. And you know what we say over here? The secret to walking on water and just knowing where the rocks are. So let's
There you
find
go.
these rocks and steps on them. And we'll definitely see you at the top, my brother. Have a peaceful and powerful day. All right.
Peace, peace and love, everyone. Shalom.
Shalom. Yes, indeed.
Follow along.